Hello and welcome to another Raggy's beer review, and tonight it's a beer versus beer, and you may well have seen lots of other beer reviewers doing the same at the moment. It is what it is. So we've got Guinness Original versus Brewdog Black Art. Brewdog gone big in supermarkets to basically go up against Guinness, and you can't fault them. Business is business, isn't it? If you've got the ability to go up against the big player, and Brewdog these days are a big player. They're more of a macro brewery than a punk brewery. But hey ho, I think the punk name's died a death these days. So we'll pour each out. There we go. You get that proper draft beer thing from the old Brewdog these days. So here we go. Black Art. A little bit of a brother of Jet Black Art from years ago. I've had Jet Black Art, I'm sure I have. So here we go. As you can see, black pour. Centimetre of white head at the moment. So here's the Guinness Original. And I was going to do a Brewdog versus Nitro, but there were so many bloody comments coming in from Guinness fanboys about the Nitro Surge. And I mean, let's be fair, it's a Guinness. Yeah, there's no difference. These people, I've had the Surge machine at work. I've had it in a pub a lot of times. I know what Guinness tastes like. I know the thickness and that of Guinness. I've had Guinness Blue. I've had lots of iterations over the years. And, some of the comments, they were quite, what's the word? Yeah, there's a word. So one's 4.2%. Guinness Original, which is that one, that's 4.1%. To be fair, even out of bottle, the Guinness 4.1's got a good head on it. It hasn't got that draft beer flow. Now, the other day, and I will get onto it, and I will do a separate Nitro Surge video, pouring two beers, one without shaking the can, which really gets that nitro going, and one where you just pour it. And I'll show you the difference for those who, like that sort of thing. So here we go. Looks of the beer, both black pours, both got nearly the same colour off-white head. Guinness head's a little bit bigger, so fair play there. Aroma. So Brewdog, Guinness. So let's go for aroma. Quite a nice aroma, to be fair. Coffee and whatnot going off. Yeah, I can still smell a bit of coffee on there. Right, the winner, Brewdog. On aroma alone, Brewdog is winner. Yeah. So looks, they're pretty much the same on looks. There was more of a draft beer thing going off on that than there was with that standard beer pour. I know it's Guinness Original, before there's any comments, I know it's not Guinness Draft, so Guinness Draft would be more like that. Hence why I'm just going on aroma and taste rather than any of the other bits. So, Brewdog, easily the winner on aroma. It's always interesting. And this is where versus videos are the best, because you're drinking the same beer or the beer you're going against at the same time. You're not doing one. Now, these are both at cold temperature. At room temperature, that would slaughter that, because it's a craft beer. Craft beers at room temperatures, especially a stout, really brings out them different flavours. At chilled, it's a little bit more even, the battle. Yep. Try it. Believe me. Get 2 cans of each. 2 bottles of each. Do one chilled, straight from the fridge. Do one room temperature, 2 or 3 hours in a warm room, and you'll know exactly where I'm coming from. And I don't need to be an expert to tell you that. All you got to do is do it yourself. You'll agree with me. But anyway, here we go. Gotta be fair, chilled. Guinness Original, putting up a fight. It's actually going to be quite a bit closer than I thought. This is interesting because at room temperature, when I did it the other day, I had both. It's not far off. I did both reviews within about, an hour. Both at room temperature. The Brewdog was a mile better. This temperature, chilled, the battle is very interesting. Smooth. There's a thickness. It's coffee, chocolate, malty. Long-lasting back-end taste. It's like Scotland versus Ireland, isn't it? In some ways. We need an English Guinness version. And a Welsh. It's a nice beer. Brewdog is nice. So we're going to give it a few minutes to warm up. Apologies for not doing a live over this. It is what it is. Just get some more poured in there. Get rid of it. Yeah, it is an interesting battle. I've got to say, Guinness Original has got more bite to it. And there's a difference between the draft versions, which are generally more smoother. If you look at John Smith's extra smooth, Tetley's extra smooth, Caffrey's, Boddington's, they're all what you call a smooth bitter. That's what they're meant to be. You get what you get. Guinness Draft is a smooth version of Guinness. It's not meant to have that bite to it, whereas that actually has a good bite to it, to be fair. And is actually a stronger competitor against the Brewdog than the Draft Guinness would be. And to prove a point, because I've got 3 cans, let's pour one of these blooming nitros, but we'll pour it without. Just means I have to drink 3 beers, but down the shed. So good thing they're only 4%ers. So here's the nitro. It's chilled. I'm going to pour it flat, so I'm not going to play about with it. Actually, a bit of a pop, to be fair. Here we go. So not overly flat, but certainly when I did the shaky thing the other day, it was more or less akin to a draft beer. Although I had quite a few people call me out on it, and yeah, it is what it is. Everyone's got an opinion. Yeah, whether I agree or disagree, and I disagree, but there you go. And even without me shaking it, it's creamy. So here we go. Black pour. Actually not a bad head. To say I haven't give it a shake. So it's turned into a three-way battle. Solid take. Yay. And colour, yeah, the colour's pretty much the same all throughout. Black pour with that unmistakable creamy off-white head. Not so much nose on this. Let me dive in. Hell of a lot more smooth than Guinness Original. Hell of a lot more smooth. It's closer to the Brewdog than it is the Guinness. And even so, even though, for those people, Nitro Surge fanatics, I'm not being a cunt, I'm just proving a point that it still tastes like a pint of Guinness. There's no wrong with it. You know, you probably paid a bit more for it. I haven't, you know, attached device over opening, and it's only, you know, it's not doing anything magical to the beer. You know, it is what it is in that respect. I'll do a separate video where I actually get 2 cans of nitro and discuss it, and discuss the pros and cons. It's coming. I'll probably record it tomorrow night, and it'll come this weekend, because I don't want to flood the channel with just about bloody Guinness and Brewdog. You know, there's a lot of Brewdog about, there's a lot of Northern Monk about at the moment, simply because of the supermarkets. You know, it seems that certain brands now are the only ones that can go into the supermarkets. But there we go. So let's do aroma then. Across all 3 beers, we'll do aroma. Chilled temperature, so we're in the shed. We're not in a room. We've not played about with any daft machines that cost you 22 quid. 22 quid. It's in a cost of living crisis. Why not put... Now, let's talk. For those people who, you know, jumping on this Nitro Surge bandwagon and want to be pedantic about it, the likes of Sirencraft and many other brewers across the UK have had nitro beers where you crack it open and you pour hard. You don't need a £22 device. And we're in a cost of living crisis. Yeah? You know, there's a lot of people who absolutely are struggling. I'm not buying a £22 device just to pour some bloody beer. To get that draft beer thing. I'm not doing it. Yeah? So as much as the people want to jump on the bandwagon, you do that. You jump on your bandwagon. But your £22, you can shove it, you know, wherever. I don't care. Not paying it. Don't want to pay it. Would never pay it. But I wanted to see what the beer was like. And shaking it actually did bring it pretty close to what that thing did. I've had the Surge that you get in bars. Both my hotels serve beers. Surge Guinness. It's basically the same thing as this bloody Nitro fucking Surge thing. So anyway, Brewdog, Nitro Surge, original. Aroma. Okay. Yeah. Malty into coffee and that sort of thing. A little bit more complexity on the Brewdog there. sniffing farts, isn't it? Could be all day, yeah. I must sniff my farts at 7 in the morning. Fucking hell, not yet. Making myself laugh now. Right, so Brewdog. This temperature, Brewdog Aroma Rise is the winner. Yeah. Nitro Surge is second. Guinness, actually original, is third on this, on aroma, on taste. Let's go. I mean, don't get me wrong. Even unshaked, straight from the can, that's a nice bit of Guinness. Yeah, it's a nice cold pour Guinness. It's got a good head to it. I mean, fucking hell. Yeah, you ain't got that bit at the start, you know, where you see it bubbling down and coming back up. I did the other day when I shook the can. And I'll prove this in a different video. Obviously, there will be people that will call me out and slag me down. Do what you like. But that's a nice looking pour. I'm no expert. Never said I was. Never ever said I was an expert. I'm just somebody who drinks beer and has an opinion, and has got a YouTube channel to vent that opinion, you know, and not really vent, but certainly say what I get. I get what I get, and that's as simple as that, you know. Certainly not some hierarchy of the beer world. Never would be, but certainly got an opinion, as we all have, you know. And able to voice my opinion. But anyway. So, Nitro Surge, but not Nitro Surged. Or not shook even. Guinness. Bloody hell. Whilst that is smooth and has flavour to it. Brewdogs. Oh, Jesus. Flipping heck, I've got that lot to drink as well. I'm going to go up the arse can. There's a lot coming from the Brewdog. Gotta be honest, try all three together, you know. Right, Guinness Original now. Fucking hell, I've twatted before I go up the arse. Right, smooth, bitey. Guinness Original has got bite to it. Bitterness in the words. That you won't. Whereas they're both smooth, this has got a bit of bitterness. It has not got the complexities of aroma and taste that the Brewdog's got. However, it's got bitterness, and there's the key. Guinness in the pub is all about the draft, smooth experience, but it's not all about that, you know. Guinness in bottle. I mean, if you bring West Indies Porter foreign extra into the equation, obviously the ABVs get a lot bigger, and really are different kettles of fish. But you know, they bring a different element into it. Oh, absolutely loving the bite that's coming off that. And it's so chuffing freezing in here. You won't feel we're in the middle of March now. Fucking hell, where is spring? Let's get some warm temperatures. Piss this snow and shit cold weather off. Oh. Now, the thing with beer reviews, I mean, I've been a little bit offensive tonight. And not for the want of being offensive, it's not quite the way. But you know, sometimes, you know, when you get certain comments and they piss you off, and you kind of fight back, don't you? You know, none of us are perfect. So, smooth Guinness, smooth Brewdog, bitey Guinness. And in all beer, it comes down to personal preference. You know, you listen to what people say, you get what they get, and you agree or you disagree. I don't agree with other beer reviewers, and they obviously don't agree with me. You know, we're all different, and other beer drinkers. You know, smooth, malty, a real small hint of chocolate on there, and again a real notes of coffee in the taste. And that's from flat. No shaky wakey, no Nitro Surge. Oh, let's give it some nitro. None of that business. Just a plain old crack the can open, jobs are good and poor. Don't know what's happened to that side of the can. Look at that side. That side of the glass is like, yeah, fuck all there. That side, it's like, hey, I've give you a good splash in there, antidote. Yeah. Yeah. 21 minutes in. So I've got to say that the flat Nitro Surge, we're going to call it flat Nitro Surge. Yeah, it's flat. Or the non-shaky Nitro Surge. It's probably the weaker of the three beers. It's smooth, but it hasn't got the bitiness of the Guinness. And it's all down to personal preference, of course. So, it's fucking hell, I'm freezing. It's Guinness Original, bitey Guinness, versus Brewdog's Black On. I nearly forgot the name of it then. And you know, the more you leave it, the more it warms up, you know, ever so gradually. The more you're getting more aroma from this. Oh, a distinctly more aroma coming from the Brewdog. Proper bite on the Guinness. It's got a proper kicky bite, whereas that is replicating the draft Guinness, so it's going for the smoother feel. Fucking hell, I'm gonna go up the arse, and the wife's gonna say, "What the fuck have you been drinking?" 3 pints of Guinness, duck. Jesus Christ. Wow. Gotta say, Guinness Original is still kicking. It's still a, you know, it's a decent stout. You know, even though I've had all these imperial stouts, craft beers, been drinking for years, still got some wallop in it. And sometimes it's nice to go back to the trad stuff and relive what got you into beer. This got me into beer so much that I'm not even looking at the camera properly. There we go. I'm looking now. Still a good beer. So it's a close battle. I love the Guinness Original. It's got a lovely bite to it, getting the maltiness, this chocolates, coffee, and all that in it. Same with this, but it's more smooth and it's got more pronounced flavours coming through. Flavour is going to win with me all day long. But I've got to appreciate an absolute master. The Guinness Original is only just below. Nitro Surge actually was quite a bit below the Guinness. So the flat Nitro Surge. Flat Nitro Surge, still going to have the same taste. You know, if I'm saying anything to anybody from Guinness, don't put £22 bloody gadgets out when we're in the middle of a cost of living crisis. Put the gadget in the can. The cans are 4 for £7. You're already paying more for the can than you're paying for draft Guinness. You know, don't be greedy. Greed is the killer of this world. You know, greed is what's ruining the world. You only need to look at the rich countries of the world, their greed, and look at the oil and gas companies because of their greed. Bankers, greed. Greed kills things. Brewdog, you know, don't always agree with their ethics, but that's the winner. Wow. Cheers all.